So we'll begin the meeting as your interim until approved chair. It's 5:30. It's just after 5:31 if you need that. And I'll do a quick attendance so the recorder knows everyone that's here. Kathleen, Tom, Mary Beth, Todd, Josh, and Steve.
And somebody's coming.
And somebody's coming. Oh, we're in high anticipation. We want people to come, not to walk away. Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you? And Don has joined us.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, thanks for asking.
Right. Hi, well,
It's good to see you.
good to see you too.
So that's just the. That's just to start. We just opened up the meeting.
Okay.
I'm the interim chair until we reorg.
Excellent.
And Mary Beth's probably going to give me some instructions until I get myself underway. But welcome back, everyone. I know Whitman is very proud of you all. Maybe not me, just the rest of you. And thanks for being here. We got the recorder here done.
Good, good. Keep it there.
Purposes of recording. Okay. Yes.
So, am I correct, Don, that you do not want to remain as chair?
I do not want to remain as chair.
And Steve has offered
Okay, excellent.
graciously. So, the first item on the agenda is to discuss reorganization of the capital committee.
Okay, so let's have a vote on reorg. I guess the first step would be I'm stepping down as the chair. I'll still stay on as a committee member. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that's unanimous.
And do we want to open up nominations for
Sure.
chair?
Motion
So-
to nominate Steve.
Second
Tom?
motion?
Kathleen?
Okay, so we have a first and a second for Steve. Okay. Any discussions or?
Any further nominations? No.
No.
Thank you, Steve, for
Yes.
being willing to take on this. job.
Okay, so all in favor of Steve?
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Excellent. Okay.
Go. The gavel goes over to Steve.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. So as we get underway, and I'm sorry if I didn't open up the agenda. I think I wasn't, because you mentioned MS, and I'm used to the Google Suite. I didn't open it.
So the next item I had on the agenda was to announce Frank Lynham's resignation from the capital.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Should we say a pledge? Pledge allegiance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pledge. Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. So Mr. Lynham, Frank, because there's a few Mr. Lynhams, and I don't even know how long he's been on here, but he is stepping away permanently. We, with regrets, can accept his resignation. Can I entertain a motion to accept Mr. Lynham's resignation?
Motion.
Second.
Mary Beth, second. Kathleen. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Yep.
Thank you.
The next item was to review the fiscal 2027 capital article request process and timeline. So I believe in years past, did we have it due like October 1st? But last year, I will say it was December that it was.
We've always wanted it in October, but we've never received them. We've received them from our internal group, Todd, Josh. They've always given them to us right away, but as far as the district and some of the other department heads, more like December.
And we had our Thank you for that, Don. We had our first capital and operations subcommittee for Whitman Hanson. I chair that. Stephanie Blackman. Shoot, I'm going to forget who else is on there. Obviously, George and Jeff, and Mike Driscoll, and Brian Lally represent technology and our facilities. We did go through a list. George submitted it to us by the October 15 date, which was just set as something to get people going and thinking and so forth. So I know that's in, and I don't think there were anything further that we were going to have, although our next meeting wouldn't be till November. Yes, Mary Beth.
So I did receive a request from George.
Yep.
For the pavement of
Pavement?
the high school. And that was like 998,000. That would be, there were two quotes.
Yeah.
984 or something and 998. And that would be based on the enrollment split, which we don't know the enrollment yet. That hasn't been certified for this year, but we went on
Right.
a 6139, it's about
Yep.
609. I did forward that to everybody. And I asked
Thank
Jeff at the meeting last night, and he said that was the only article that
Yeah.
he was expecting
Yep.
this year.
I think because obviously September's past, we did our E-biz, E-rate, stuff in a timely manner. We got all of that completed. And he probably, we'll have our regular meetings and I can report back or, excuse me, if George is here, he can certainly report as well. But, as for now, that's what we're looking at, and we're probably going to be looking forward, more obviously, to what our next things would be. But so the driveway is 23 years old, I believe, and I say driveway, but if you're all encompassing everything that we need, we do have some sink parts where it gets more use than other parts. You can just see the cracks in the pavement and just starting to dive in, almost like those. When you pull up to those, it's like the tire grooves of the 21st century. It's where all the vehicles have stopped over the years, and it just seems like the pavement has shifted itself. It's pretty much that.
Steve,
Yes. Go ahead,
do you
Tom.
know if they're gonna mill all that and top level it and
I don't know. I don't know what the process was, or if we had that.
the quote, the quote is just a number. It's not.
It's a number, and I don't know the deeper dive on what the what process and so forth,
Right.
but we can find out.
Yeah.
So milled
Yeah.
is one of the terms, and what was the other again?
If they're leveling it and then doing a top course.
Okay.
Or are they just going to pave one?
Right. Exactly. Well, they're just gonna pave over.
It would be good, I'm sure, George, to come to the meeting and
Yeah, right,
speak
exactly.
to us. We're going to walk
Yeah.
up deep.
Yeah. It's good to make a note of it.
Yeah.
By all means, thank you. And then the other, we're talking timeline for FY27. I mentioned earlier, before we actually got underway, about a matrix and, past practices or past work, what some of the things are that, if they got an age to them. I think you were very good at knowing ages on not that you're the encyclopedia of the committee, but you knew, and I know Kathleen gets probably more than her share of knowing how old a police cruiser or whatever is and what vehicles or what. So I think we, in our meeting, and I'm going back to Whitman Hanson for a moment, we did discuss the disposal of 2 vans, and I'm sure Mike Driscoll probably checked with other town departments if there was something of need, because I know things like that usually get passed along, but I think maybe these ones were at end of life. But it was something that, with the newbies on our school committee, I get the questions of, well, is it on the road? Is it still registered? Is it still insured? And I'm there like, I don't think we would go through the process of keeping it insured if, all that's left is the bumper. Or, and I was just saying that. But anyways, Okay. What else for the timeline? Anyone suggestions?
I had a quick question.
Ideas?
On behalf of,
And it doesn't have to be dates. I mean, I'm just talking like, yeah, go ahead, Tom.
on behalf of the Cultural Council, we were talking about making a capital request, and I wasn't sure if that was something being a committee, not like a department, if that was something that we would entertain. It was relating towards funds for Whitman Day and helping to fund the police details.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would almost put that in line with like, Tri-Town Veterans Day Parade or something. With funding be like that, or it isn't a capital necessity, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a dollar threshold and
Okay.
certain, like 20,000.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that.
So that might be more a budgetary, which would probably be adding some sort of line, or we'd have to see what lines you've had, but
Okay.
I don't think it, do you agree? I don't think it falls under capital.
No. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Tom.
So I did reach out to Ryan Tressel,
Yep.
Community Preservation, because I'm sure
Oh yeah.
put 4 spots in there. They had 4 last year. I don't know what they'll come in with, but I'm sure that they every year have some administrative. They'll have some things that will be coming in. And I think Todd, you have a couple more. Josh, you have one more.
Yeah, mhm.
Thought.
Yeah,
And police.
and
Any quotes?
I'll speak on them just real quick, just so everyone just knows. So right now, you don't see anything of mine on here. Although I just set one for Mary Beth, and it's for doing a mini split system in the dispatch area of the police station and outside the dispatch area. Those 2 units are 20-something years old, and actually they didn't work that well at all this summer. The other one I'm looking at doing possibly is the animal control building, upgrading the lighting in there. The ceiling's falling apart in there. The flooring needs work. It needs landscaping all around it. You got trees growing into the kennels, actually. The gates need to be replaced on the kennels. I'd like to double a lot of the kennels. There's only one double kennel that's in there, meaning it's a bigger spot. There's 24 total, and the rest are single. I'd like to make more doubles, cut out the middle wall, make them bigger for the animals. I'd like to put a pull down attic in there as well to pull down stairs so I can get to the air handle unit up there. Right now you got to jump on top of the kennel, then kind of get through the ceiling, and it needs to be re-insulated. So I already have, I got the people there, I just haven't received the quotes yet. So I'm waiting to receive the quotes on that. The other thing is, I know Mary Beth, you wanted to do the card readers. You mentioned it.
Right.
And I mentioned it to Josh a couple weeks ago. I think deferring it to him is better because
Given what we have to work with for money, I
Yep.
don't think that
Okay.
that is anything
right,
that would
pressing, right,
no.
right.
But yes, it is something
Yeah.
that I would like to see. They found that gentleman downstairs after
Yes.
a function
Yes.
way down
In the boiler room. Yep.
IT room or
Yep.
back, and nobody should be roaming around downstairs after hours. And so if we had the card readers, they wouldn't be able to get through. I think, do you have them at the police station at all doors there? And yeah, I mean, it would be something ideally that would be great to have.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Given
at the,
what we're looking at.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think that this
any new building is going to have them. I mean, we have them at Public Works too. So.
Right. No, I think that's great. And these old buildings, it'd be nice if we had it. But we'll talk about this in a minute. I just don't think that it rates.
No, I agree. And the other one, again, this one doesn't rate either, but the other one I was thinking about doing was re-siding the senior center, but that's not a pressing thing. It's not looking great in certain spots, but it's not, the public can't see it. But the landscape with the budget and everything, it's, maybe that's down the road. So,
I do think it's important that we bring these requests forward, though. I don't
Right.
think we should be not bringing the requests forward because I think the departments that are making these requests have legitimate requests that they're making, and whether we can or cannot afford them, it's important to highlight the fact that we are requesting them so that no one can point fingers after the fact and say, why didn't you do this?
Oh, no, I think everything should be on there. I mean, so the card readers, we can certainly.
Yeah, put them on there.
It
Yeah.
would be a new
'Cause it isn't-
software company
Right.
too. I mean, we
Right.
talked about getting someone to come out. That's a real big need, but that's also a real big ticket item.
Oh, the financial system?
Financial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we can, again, I think this spins around in circles between what we talked about before about finding a document that we could use to track all this as well as the funding sources in relation to each request, because some of these have grant funding attached to them, some of them have regular general funding attached to them, or articles attached to them. So it's it would be nice to be able to see on one pane of glass.
Centralized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Things that have grant funding attached to them, especially if there's timelines or expiration dates on the fundings, they should take priority, in my opinion. We should take advantage of every available free cash that we can get our hands on. In my opinion.
If we can put that money to work,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's only so much that
We can do.
we can act on
Yep.
through IT. And,
Well, if I ask, then I ask kind of a holistic big question on this. So more card readers, more data wiring that gets associated. I'm assuming it's all Cat 6 wiring. And is your system capable of taking on all these additional peripheral devices? Or does
Yeah.
that need to be upgraded too?
No, we just we got a grant for the exterior fiber optics to replace the fiber optic network in the town. So we have a fiber optic network that goes to both sides. So inside this building here, this building is now rated for 10 gig capabilities across the building, and as well as the police department, public works department. The only building that has older wiring that would not traditionally support 10 gigs would be the senior center, the library, and the fire station.
So your hardware, you have enough hardware to support additional card readers? Okay, good. So
Yeah.
So it's just the end-of-line peripheral devices would need to be purchased and installed.
Yeah, it's just licensing and hardware, physically hardware for the doors that we're going to add the readers to and stuff like that.
Good. It's good to know.
And I'm glad you mentioned grants, because I don't know what the town always sees or comes by that, it's stuff we can apply for, but it's good to know that there is insight into that, and I'm sure it's been in discussions with whatever the various departments are affected and so forth. We do that in Whitman, Hanson, and I think even without official grant writers, I think it's very advantageous for not only everyone, but I think it really empowers, I think, people to want to seek out and find some best solutions.
Yeah.
So it's always good to mention. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to bring up I've plugged in all the new equipment at the DPW into the facilities master plan when it should be replaced and the light.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
But more importantly, I've learned over the last 5 or 6 months, and I've been trying to do research on it and asking the vendors to look into it, as well as talking to the Mitsubishi rep in Boston. The refrigerant that the city melties take are R410.
Okay.
So the R410 is changing over to 454B.
Yep.
So as of January 1st, this is across the country.
Yep.
As of January 1st, all residentials can no longer be R410. They have to be R54B. They stopped making equipment that takes R410.
This is Central Air.
Yep. Yeah, the condensers. Mm-hmm. They haven't put a date out yet for commercial. So everyone's buying up all the R410 stock because they're not making them anymore. So we're just a small player. So when you start talking about hospitals and big buildings in town that have 15, 20, 25 condensers, this is across the country. They're buying them all. So my plan originally was replace one at a time. And you have to replace all the piping. That's the wording out there. It hasn't been documented, but what they're hearing is you have to replace all the piping and all the units, indoor units, everything. So basically, you're starting all over.
Bulk lines, supply and return.
Yep. All the branch boxes, everything. We have 3 branch boxes, and again, we're just a small player.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I can't imagine. So what these guys are saying, they can't imagine what's going to go on with these giant buildings, you know, that have all these units. So my original plan was replace one next year, replace one in 28, replace one in 29. You know, just to save the hit, you know, on the cost. I can't do that. So our only options now are just repair it and keep repairing it until we have the funds to start replacing them one at a time. Well, you can't even replace them one at a time. You got to replace them all at once, no matter what. Because you got to pull out. Right now, they're saying you got to pull out all the lines, all the indoor units, and redo it all.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And this refrigerant has a sort of propane in it as well. So they don't even know about the fire codes yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you see where it brings
Yeah.
us. See where it goes. Because
I mean, we could go out. Not that it's a real option, but we could go out and buy what we can buy now. Buy 5 of them now at $300,000, $200,000, but you're not replacing lines.
is everything working right now? Okay.
This was the best summer I've ever had.
Don't jinx it.
Nice.
So let's
This is the
roll
best
with
summer I
it.
ever
Yeah.
had. So it was good. It was very minimal cost to anything. That's what preventative maintenance does.
And when one totally dies, swap it out with the new refrigerant,
Yeah.
the new units.
Yeah, you can't. They have to be all at once.
Yeah, you got to do it all.
You can't have
Okay.
2 different lines.
No. Like, how many air handles do you have up here, or pack? What do you have?
We have 6 air hand. We have 3 city melties. Those are the big boys.
Okay.
All right, and then we have 2 smaller ones for the auditorium.
Okay.
And then 1 small one, like a residential one, for the break room. Which
Okay.
Is, in the behind the stage.
So you got to replace the evaporator and condenser and the pipe.
So the 3 city melties.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about the auditoriums so much, okay? Because they're not in a branch box. They're separate from the 3 city melties, and the breaker one also is separate.
They're just split systems.
Right, they're split systems. If one of the city melties goes down completely and out, then we go replace all 3. Can't just replace one, or we just go without it.
So it sounds like a capital item with a 5-year plan. Push it out.
Yeah.
You know? Keep them running as best Band-Aid them as best you can.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say.
yeah. I'll just I'll get some more information, and then
Yeah.
maybe we'll look at like 20. I don't know, what are we going to try if we can get 5 years out of them, and then replace it and replace them in the 6th year or something. But
Yeah.
and no matter what, it's going to be costly. But hopefully, when we get out of this mess,
The Plymouth County.
yeah, it's something we can
Yeah.
deal with. But yeah, it's not good.
Thank you.
And just so you know, all the equipment at the DPW is 454B.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all the news.
Yeah.
So that's all good.
Yeah. So that's all good.
Do you have any older refrigerants than that? On the
Well,
board
like talking to the techs in Mitsubishi, so the R22 was used for 70 years.
then?
The 410 has only been out for like 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
But they just change it like that.
It's
Yeah.
environmental, I think.
Yeah. Sounds it.
Well,
So that's something for you too, there, Steve Capital. I don't know what you guys have over at the schools.
We well, you've probably seen in a lot of the schools for the classrooms, we got the individual
Units.
units, and so central office, library, and I'm talking the high school right now. Maybe that at the front office for the high school. I made a note of it. Thank you very much, because we can bring that to Mike Driscoll to let him know. Auditorium, just trying to think of a few. We know quite a few of us have sweated out in the gymnasium when we used to have graduation there, so we know what that takes the big fans. But surprisingly, it's usually just the main offices that have, and maybe the libraries and so forth. I'm thinking Duval, and there's been parent groups in one or the other community, I don't know if in both. I think it's in Whitman, like Duval, where they got all their window units. It was parents groups that raised that money and so forth. So, I know everyone's, a lot of our folks talk about equity. Can we get for the schools over here? Well, it's not as easy as you say, because you don't know how active each of the parent groups are and so forth, and what they're involved in for fundraising. So, but we try to manage it with those units as long as, I think during the pandemic we got quite a few of them, as long as we possibly can. And then, we'll definitely mention it to facilities for the schools. And I'm sure the new middle school has the same impact. Those of us that were there yesterday learned that, hey, as soon as it gets enclosed, we can go on a tour of the inside. And I'm glad they did show the conduit I was asking about the meeting before, although you missed that meeting. But yeah, I was big on the conduit part. All right. And Mary Beth, next?
Yes. Next
Please, thank you.
let me take a look. And I just saw an attachment here from the accountant I'll send on that deals with this. But
Okay.
it's discuss capital article appropriations and expirations. So going over the capital articles that weren't closed out this year and just
Sure.
looking at the dates on some of them. Some of them are going back to fiscal 16, fiscal 18, and so they're old. And the accountant today said that she feels they shouldn't be any older than 3 years. Some projects maybe need more than 3 years.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think anything over 5 years at top, and it shouldn't be every article. It should be just something like a major IT project or something. But the old ones, I'd like to see used up this year or closed out. Matter of fact, there's one for Whitman Middle School for $53,000 for something that's going to be done there. And I'm like, well, no, we're not dumping money into that. I'd like that one
Right.
closed out
Yeah.
and sent back to us.
Um,
So I haven't even opened this.
Okay.
Jen Agenti sent it to me today. I'm just going to forward it to you guys and we can open it together.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Oh, now this is, what do you want me to do here, Josh? For shared.
It's up to you. I just sent the invite out to all the.
All right,
so
I'll just send
you
it the old way and then you can add it to the shared. How's that?
Yeah, everyone has access now to or should have access to
Okay.
the OneDrive now to be
Okay.
able to view the
Thank you.
files.
Thanks for doing that.
It'll just be easy to view them instead of trying to
Yeah.
go back and forth.
Oh, jeez.
And does this money roll back into free cash, or does it go back to anything in particular?
Well, for the high school, any capital, for the town,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, John Stanberg used to certify that back as available funds.
It
would roll to free cash.
Gotcha. Okay. And what about for the town things?
For the town, so a couple of things can happen.
You're gonna send me a check in the mail?
No.
Make sure all my resident friends get them.
For a light project, something could be, or you could just bring it to town meeting. We did that a couple of years ago. It was a little bit confusing, trying to use articles for something else. But
Oh, right,
we could
right.
say, we're done with this article,
Yeah.
and it would just close out to free cash.
Gotcha.
And then put new articles in. Let's see.
The Duval roof was used to fund a lot of projects.
Yes.
Yep, it was.
They keep moving the goalposts, though. You know?
I know.
How crazy. I don't even know. It'll come up this year, but I don't even know what. I don't even know. Did we even discuss it?
Josh, Todd,
Your
Email?
yeah, email.
I don't think we, in our initial meeting,
and me. Okay.
talked about it.
I'm just going to send this to you. Okay. List of carry forwards. We'll just see what she's got. So I think okay. So she broke it down here. Generals. Oh, okay. So these are like 24, 23, 25. Those are all good. We wouldn't touch any of those.
Did you send them, Mary?
I did.
I didn't get them yet.
To your email? Hasn't come through yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Let's see.
See?
I did share a grant opportunity with George this week. And
Oh, did you?
yeah, unfortunately it
Oh, thank
closes
you.
at the end of this month, so
Oh, yeah.
for up to 500 computers.
Oh, that's fire department.
Did you get access to the
Yeah.
files? Yep, ATM folders.
Just see what I'm saying.
So now if you get it,
Can I put something in there?
yeah. So now if you had if you had if you go to facilities
Okay, I'm gonna do this.
and you hit the plus sign. They're not allowing you on.
So how many openings do we have?
Right.
97.
For this committee?
Driving on this committee.
Yeah.
Just Franklin.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
That's just Frank, that's it?
John's out of town, that's why he's not here tonight. One word.
There you
Who
go.
replaced
Okay,
Fred?
so you get
Steve?
that. You should have it.
Yes.
Steve replaced Fred?
Yes.
Okay.
Got it,
Yeah.
hit back.
Okay, I
Yes,
got it.
Committee of 9.
Did you get it?
No, hit that.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
don't have the wire.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
What did I just do?
Data plus data file. Can you close that app out? Or is it a website you have open? Yeah, right. Yeah, close it out.
So I just
Open it
was
again.
thinking in the future, if we could just set a timeline for articles when they're voted, to automatically wash back to free cash after 3 years,
Okay.
5 years if it's something major. Just to get the money back in for free cash.
I think if we do that, I think we should have a fallback too for some articles that may in fact may take longer to.
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
something extenuating, I agree.
Mhm.
Like, there's the safety and assessment town buildings from 2014, May of 14. It's only $2,000, but maybe you can use that, Todd, for something.
What's that?
There's one from like 2014, assessment of town buildings, I don't know,
Oh, yes, there's,
You know-
I actually did, I did use, how much is left in that?
2,200.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just use it up this year, or,
Yeah, I did roof assessments, with there was 10,000.
okay, yeah. So anyway, you guys can look at that, we
Yep.
can talk
Yep.
about it at the next meeting or
Yep.
something. But that would just give us a little bit more free cash. And then, let me see, what else do I have on the agenda? Oh, review and discuss the 5-year capital needs. Kathleen, I know that was a big item, always a 5-year.
Well, yeah, for the FinCom, we're really looking for the 5-year plan.
So,
We have one from some departments, but it's not comprehensive.
so we need to have every department submit something and then compile into one major
So,
capital plan.
I'll be giving you my updated one.
I know you will.
can we piggyback off of the FinCom to get what they get? Or would they forward it to us? What would you, what's a normal?
Typically, it comes here first, I think.
Oh, does it? Okay, all right. Okay, I didn't know if it did or not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we got the requests that are in, but you're talking about, we're looking to put together a master
Document.
crosswalk or spreadsheet. Yeah. How is that correlate to what you might be receiving, and if that's already part in the work? If they give you something that's already in the works, maybe it's something that we just drop in to our main spreadsheet.
Who did you get them from?
Oh,
The
It
5-year?
would have come from the capital committee. I brought
You
me
like
at the capital committee.
I like
to
that.
see what she-
Now, the only thing is, where does it go back to? What's the drive? Is it just called articles?
Five-year plan for-
Or does it go back to Whitman Capital?
Occasionally.
I'll explain it to you after.
Okay. Oh, Capital Committee, there it is.
But when you meet with departments, nobody else
Okay.
gave like a 5-year capital. I know Todd gives you the book.
Todd
Anybody
did.
else that
Yes,
does
Todd.
that?
Todd did.
Nobody else.
No.
No.
I gotta bring, I gotta
Ernie did
bring
when
that
Ernie
laptop.
was. Ernie gave us something when he was among the facilities at the district. But we haven't received anything since Ernie's been gone.
So you did get from Ernie Sandlin a
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-year or whatever?
And that was
3-year.
probably,
I don't know if it was 5 or what, but
I think it was 5, Josh, but I
Yeah.
think that was probably close to 10 years ago when I
Yeah.
started.
yeah, many years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other item, I don't know, was just what I had kind of put together for the balance sheet was
Yes.
to the Department of Revenue yesterday. And John Adams and Jen Argenti feel it's going to come in between $1 million and 1.1. So if I just threw in $1 million and I applied the policy that we voted last year and took 10% off to go to the capital stabilization. And that's money that can't be used this year. I could stash that away. I know he needs that fire truck. So we have the free cash policy, then 10% to the general stabilization, and then the free cash to the Plymouth County line. So last year it was $3,571,000. This year it's up to over $3,008,000 something. So this was
Can you explain that? What does that mean?
what the Plymouth County. Yes.
Yes.
So the town has 2 unfunded liabilities that we carry. One of them is Plymouth County retirement liability. That is something that is expected to be paid off at this time in 2031. However, it could still be extended for a year, as we go out. The longest that you can push out an unfunded liability for retirement per PERAC, the state top level that regulates it, is 2040. Everybody has to put, what I found out was every year, people will say, push it out, give us a little relief so our payment's not so big. I believe Tom O'Brien said every year it gets pushed out, you can add another 1.6 million to your tab. So Sean thought, well, why don't we take, instead of having that whole amount, which is going up at such a huge rate, in our budget and eating up a lot of our money that we want to, fund the town with, why don't we use $200,000 every year from free cash so that we don't have to appropriate the whole dollar
That
amount
makes
in the
sense.
budget. The same thing, the other unfunded liability, I said there were 2, is other post-employment benefits. That liability is everything other than Plymouth County retirement. So it's health insurance, life insurance, so there's a liability there. So for the Plymouth County retirement, think of it like Harry Bates, for example,
Yeah.
who retired a few years ago. He had been an officer for years and years. When he started, they only had to pay in 5% of what they made. Then they changed that a few years later and said, okay, now this 7%, people, new employees.
Yeah.
And there were 8, went to 8, then it went to 9, then it went to 9% of your earnings go to Plymouth County retirement plus 2% over 30,000. That's what everybody pays now. However, we have people retired from the system, like a Harry Bates or other people, that contributed 5%, but they're collecting, the full retirement at
Yeah.
today's. So it's also for all the active people who are working for their future benefits.
Okay.
Because they all say that what you contribute with Plymouth County retirement, your portion of your contributions is usually done, and you've gone through all that in about 10 to 12, 10, 11 years. But yet you can collect for 20, 30 years.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions on what I think I heard. So, it was recommended that we have a stabilization fund for that, for our, I guess, obligation.
No, it's not a stabilization.
Well, it's, okay, so it's free, it's the PCR.
Plymouth County Retirement. Yep.
So we're going to have funding for that. Now, of that 200,000, that's probably a very small. Every town in Plymouth County has to pay this, right?
They have to pay it, but they all pay a different amount.
Percentage.
Well, so the percentage can't go over 8%, I believe it is, for everybody in Plymouth County. Some people pay 10, some people pay 12, some people pay 6 or 7. And what makes the difference between what one town pays and what the other town pays is how many Group 4 employees we hire. Are we giving out raises higher than the average? So there's the age of the people that we hire. So that all goes into the actuarial mix to come out with Whitman's percentage as opposed to Abington's or Rockland's or whatever. Like Plymouth County Retirement, Tom will tell you that for 10 years they absolutely gave no raises. They paid extra money on their pension, unfunded liability. So think of it as you have a mortgage, he would pay extra on his principal.
Yeah.
And he did that for so many years. So he has drastically reduced this, but they've made a concerted effort. So ours, I think, is about, I don't have it with me here, but about 10%, 10.3%, I think, this year. But it's a huge number out of our budget. It's up
But
to
I
3.8.
think I heard you say that if it's not funded, then you put 1.6 percentage points on top of it every year for financing it.
No, it's, the amount that we're paying is just 1 year's worth.
Yeah.
We have an unfunded balance that we're trying to chip away at, which is on the books through 2031.
Okay.
But what Tom said is if you don't, if you move that schedule out beyond 2031, which some people call them and say, just extend it to reduce our payment a little. He said, you're kicking the can down the road. While it might come down a little, it's really adding another $1.6 million on the total that you owe. So he doesn't want to extend it anymore. You know, and really, honestly, I just want to suffer through it and get it paid off so that all we would have after we paid off that huge unfunded liability would be what's called our normal costs. So instead of 3.8 million, we might have to pay 360,000. Well, that's a big difference. But I don't want to see that whole difference go back into the budget to spend because we have that other OPEB unfunded liability. So I'd want to take a good chunk of that and put it towards that liability. But still infuse a good, you know, a decent amount into the budget. We need some relief.
Right.
So,
3.8 million a year.
I'm sorry?
That's 3.8 million a
It
year.
was
Is that what-
3.5 last year, 3.8
Okay.
this
This year,
year, and every year it goes up a
Yeah.
little. So, but we still have in through fiscal 21, so we're working on 27. We still have 28, 29, 30, and 31. We have 5 more years, but it is going up. And it's been a focus for Sean. Is there any other way that we can manage it or take out pension obligation bonds, you know, to pay it all off? But it's not the interest rate environment in which to do that, and the state has to sign off, and they're not approving any of those.
All I want to contribute is that, because this fascinated me last year, like, oh my goodness, where is this money coming from? The Plymouth County Retirement every 2 years puts out a fascinating, at this point, 95-page book that lists every community and entity that has pensions funded by the Plymouth County Retirement. And it will tell you the 2-year Whitman's this fiscal 27 is $3.8 million. If we do semi-annual payments, which we don't,
I don't.
it's $3.9 million. So paying it all up front in July saves us, but every 2 years you can read this book and go, oh my goodness, this is an awful lot of money.
And now you see why people want to eliminate the pension system, because it's just, as much as it provides for the retired folks, it's a fortune.
And our 3 biggest items for the budget, the Whitman-Hanson assessment is huge. We have our Plymouth County Retirement assessment, and we have our medical costs. We're lucky that we're part of Mayfair Municipal Health Group, which kept it down to 6.85 or something, 7.85 this year. But if you look at Maya and you look at the other competitors out there, they were up 12, 15, 19%. But they did tell me just at our last steering committee meeting that the retirees are going up, I think, 11.3%. And they told me to plug in 10% for our actives. So while our actives really might come in a little less than that, I'm putting in 10%. Again, those are big numbers to start with. We may be putting in a budget $1.6 million, and now I have to go up 10% on that. So those three big numbers, are such a huge chunk of the budget.
And the sad part is they did away with the best health insurance plan the town had for I can't tell you how long. Saving the town, some money, of course, but at the same time,
They took it out of the GIC.
dwindling the benefits that, would have been a great opportunity to offer some of these, new employees that are starting with the town.
Which plan? Are you talking about the legacy plans?
$15.
That's because the legacy plans cost.
Yeah, I know, but it's the
A lot of
same.
money.
It's like if they can't afford it on the salary to give the decent competitive salary to the employees, at least they had it on the benefit side, right? Now it's like, now neither. So
There's rate saving plans, other plans, but they're not as enriched. They're not as rich as.
And not that we need actuarials or anything, but do we have a way that we identify, who's still in these, like, I want to call it the Harry Bates sort of group that they paid in 5% and, we're paying out a lot more. And I'm not signaling out people, but do we know how many of those folks there are?
Well, no, and it's not even really just that as much as it is that. It's the
Yeah.
people that were 5s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and now 9.2 is called pay as you go. But
Yeah.
it's also all of the active people that we're also contributing
Oh,
towards
right.
their future benefits.
Oh, right,
All of
right,
the
right.
actives that are in the whole Plymouth County system, and then for Whitman for us.
Gotcha.
So
That's true.
yeah,
And can you just remind me what John Stambrook used to send to you, that because he's still with us doing behind the scenes work and helping Brian Hyde and so forth.
As far as closing out articles.
Yeah. What did he send?
So
Is it?
at the end of the fiscal year, before June 30th,
Yep.
he would go through his open articles and say, this project's done, or the Duval School has
Oh, right.
been done. And so he would send a letter that the town would have to sign to certify that he's done with that money. And then that money will get washed back
I gotcha. Okay.
to free cash.
I want to see about asking him, and if it's, I don't know if it'd be Brian Hyde, but whomever right now, what would be the person? We have one other gentleman in our financials. He's, I got his name last night, but now I'm already forgetting it.
Yeah,
Is that the tall gentleman?
I don't know.
Matt
Oh.
Carter.
Yeah. Well, I heard Matt Cruz working on some things, but I know it's not Matt.
Okay, I don't know Matt. I just heard the name yesterday.
I don't know who you're thinking of, Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
So we
And so-
were in mid-thought.
We were talking about this sheet. So if we just get $1 million, and this is just a draft figure, and we take off the items that we voted for the fiscal policy, which is the Plymouth County, it's capital stabilization 10%, general stabilization 10% of the new balance, and then $200,000 each year for the Plymouth County, so that we can free up $200,000 out of our regular Article 2, and $140,000 for our OPEB unfunded liability. We also used to have that in Article 2, so that freed up $340,000 in Article 2, but it came out of free cash. That only leaves us $470,000. And when I put in the request, this is without Todd, your most recent request, we're at $3,242,000.
No, this one is. I'm left-handed. You can't put anything on my left side.
So we will have this certified hopefully within the next week, but we don't want to walk on the floor. First of all, we're having a special town meeting. I don't know if any money will be spent out of free cash in December, but then you can't go into the annual town meeting, you can't go on the floor having appropriated or having articles for all this. As you saw at this town meeting, a couple of articles were restored. I mean, and if there's no money there to restore it, then they're going to start rescinding votes, and so you have to leave some money when you go on the floor. So what do you do? And this is what we're going to have to see once we have all the articles in. If it really is about 470,000 we have to work with, who gets what? It's all important.
Yeah.
But I guess at this point, and I talked to Sean today, and he said, this is what we're going to be seeing as we keep reducing budgets and everyone's running on tighter. They're not turning back money. They don't have money to turn back. And so capital, he said, is going to have to, take a back seat for a little bit on, unless it's something critical and we can fit it within the budget. But even just the high school article,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put that in.
609. Yeah.
Well, that's our share.
That's our share, right?
And we don't even have enough
To support that.
to support that one article.
That's right.
So how do we divvy up? But we'll know the actual free cash. She said in a couple of business days. Well, I won't know here on Friday. So if I don't hear tomorrow, it won't be till next week. But
We'll
she
do it
said-
another year.
So the paving, is that a quote from a independent third party?
George,
Yes, I think
yeah.
we're waiting for T.L. Edwards. They said we're waiting for Whitman's.
Is that something that us and Hanson can do? DPWs?
Oh, as far as the labor, and then just possibly.
I mean, because if it's really needed and the funding isn't there, how do we get it done?
Right. Well, the school opened in 2005,
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
As my son
Yeah.
graduated from the new school. He didn't go that year. So, I mean, here we are, right? We're going into 2026. But I don't know. I'm just looking at, you ask any of these departments. Ask the police chief if he needs his cruiser, or ask
Right.
IT, or
No, I
ask
know.
Todd.
I know.
This is going to be brutal to prioritize. And
Well, we knew this was coming.
and it's going to be
This isn't
probably
a
worse
surprise.
next year.
Yeah.
No, I think I asked this question before too. Is there any law that prevents us from soliciting donations for? I know there are wealthy folks that are out there, whether it be in this community or around the world, that would donate money for the sake of any type of needs that may I'd just be curious to see if we're able to collect donations.
So I did look into that for, this year when recreation, right? All we did fund for that was the salaries. And then everything else was done from the revolving fund. So I had this idea that, well, geez, you could go to local companies, right? You could go to any of them out there and say, hey, do you want to donate? And we could put a banner around the pool that said, gold level or whatever, donation by, and then put the name of their company on. It's free advertising. They get to, not free, but they get to write it off. And the attorney said, no, it has to be a friends of. So now we have the new committee that was just formed for the elderly and disabled. So John Galvin, who's awesome, and especially in the corporate side, want to go out and solicit businesses. I'm like, you can't do that. It has to be friends of the elderly. You can't solicit it for your own department, for the town.
So can we do, and we talked about this, Josh, I think right after COVID, or just as COVID was ending. So could you do friends of the Whitman signboards and go to businesses and say, hey, do you want to advertise on our signboards and charge them?
I was just purely thinking of a link on the website, like donate here. Like I wasn't thinking of going to businesses. I'm just saying in general, is anybody allowed to donate money to the town, respective to essentially the money goes to a general
Like the library.
donation fund or however it is to be able to utilize that money for capital, for general budgeting, for whatever it might be. I think there's a idea that I've asked for, I think quite a few times already. I just don't know the answer to it. And, I haven't been able to determine at 100% whether or not we are able to do that.
Not for ourselves, no. And I know that for ACO, she wanted to do something to raise money. Says, no, it has to be friends of the ACO. And that's, because say you're taking this donation from this company and then a relative of theirs or they put in for some sort of they want to get a disbursement, and are you going to favor them because they're donated a check for $2,000? So I mean, it's all for ethics and whatnot. But the
Right.
attorney said you cannot do it for your own department. You can't do it for the town, even for the elderly. It says that you can make a donation via a motor vehicle excise bill or taxes with a check, with a checkoff box. So then the question was, well, what if they go out with some friends? I think John Galvin wants to get off the committee because he said I would be more valuable to be the head of the Friends and go out and solicit businesses. I said, make sure there's a method that's legally, because John Adams read it over and said it says you can donate on the real estate bill. We can put that on the personal property, we can put it on the motor vehicle, but I don't think they can just send a check in to the fund. So I don't think, no, that the town could do it. We can certainly, if you want to put your idea in an email, I'll send it off to Nancy. But for the 3 I've checked on so far,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, I mean, they have the ability on there now for the seniors to offset the seniors. I don't know what the difference will be between that and the, a generalized donation for.
but that's a Mass General law that we adopted a long time ago. You know what I mean? That's in MGL, that they could set up that fund. And they did. It was just never acted upon. So it would have to be something within the MGL.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I agree with
Makes
you. I think there are businesses that would.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, there's quite a few people that, have significant funds out there. And I'm not saying here locally, I'm just saying in general that do give
Sponsor
money to,
donation.
different causes or whatnot. So it's just trying to figure out how we can fund the unfunded here. So
I know.
So, do we have anything else, Mary Beth?
Not on the agenda.
Okay.
It's-
I'm just keeping to your timeline of an hour, and I've got a meeting over at the Whitman Freedom Team at the library.
So that was another thing I mentioned, that I really would love it if we could keep our meetings to 1 hour.
1 hour.
You like that?
Yes.
That sounds good.
Okay. I love
Well,
it.
with the money, maybe it could be a lot shorter.
One capital project. Okay, done.
Can
We meet on Wednesdays as opposed to Thursdays.
Wednesdays is fine? Yes, I think
I'm
yes.
just asking.
Oh, let me look at my Bruin schedule. I'm not your rich guy.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday
Wednesday meetings
works for
are on Wednesdays.
There are school committee meetings, but they'll.
Yeah.
No, that was.
Yeah, as long as it's, so 6:30 would be school committee. I mentioned capital, I'd have to be to that at 5:30. That's once a month, so we can offset it from that date. And can I just ask this, do we have minutes from past meetings that we still have to put out and review? Would you mind sending me at some point what we have? I mean, you can just give me the dates at first, and then we can go from there. And I appreciate all your hard work on that. Thank you. So, with nothing further to do, may I entertain a motion to adjourn?
Well, should we put on the calendar when the next meeting?
Oh,
yes.
that's a good idea, huh? So here goes that
So we're
Bruin
talking
schedule.
Wednesdays?
Yep.
Yes.
I
So
cannot
today's the
believe
22nd.
we're looking at November.
We do have school committee on the 19th, but I think it could happen right before then.
Or the 12th?
19th?
19th, 12th?
Either one.
I think the 12th is fine.
12th is fine.
5:30.
Are you going to send out a calendar invite, Steve? Or
10:04. Okay, Wednesday, November 12th at 5:30. Now, can I entertain a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Oh, you already moved that? Okay.
Currently moving.
Moving it now.
Making a motion.
Second. All right. Thank you, Todd
All
and
in
Kathleen.
favor?